Hello, job seekers. Melanie here with CGL Recruiting. And today we're going to be talking about, should you send a handwritten note or an email when you're doing a thank you for an interview? Now, if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing that now. It really does help our channel, and we'd love if you gave us that thumbs up if you feel like this data is helpful in the end. And lastly, as always, feel free to connect with me and the team at CGL Recruiting on LinkedIn. We would love to be connected with you. All right, so you've gotten an interview. Congratulations. And now it's time to do a thank you. And should you be doing a thank you? Yes. You can watch our other video that talks about why this is important and how to structure this. But should you do a handwritten thank you note, as some people are saying nowadays, or should you do an email thank you note? Now, I think when you're looking at terms of formality and gratitude, most people will say you can't beat a handwritten thank you note. It's just so incredibly personal. However, I do not recommend handwritten thank you notes. Why? Well, it's really very simple. The first thing is timing. When you look at companies trying to hire, the last thing you want to do is a delay in getting a thank you note over to that company and over to those people. And I'd love to say that the regular mail is as fast as an email, but it's just not. You want to make sure that you have the opportunity to get that thank you in there, especially if you structure it right, so you can maybe push them over the edge so you are the one that gets the offer if they're on the fence between you and somebody else. Do managers really care whether or not you send them a thank you note? Well, it is a personal preference, but I can tell you, for the ones that do care, they really care. They will say, well, I haven't gotten a thank you note from this person yet. That seems kind of odd. You should do a thank you note for every single one. But that time delay of you doing the handwritten and getting it to them, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Here's my other concern when you do a handwritten thank you note as opposed to an email. We know with resumes, with your LinkedIn profile, with everything, we have reader fatigue. And when you do a handwritten note, it generally tends to be all in the exact same font. Your handwriting doesn't go bold unless you're going to underline something, and that just doesn't look great on a handwritten note. But when you do a thank you note via email, you get the ability to use things like bullets and like bold, which will help lead the reader down through the thank you note. And that is absolutely critical. So they're actually spending the time to read your thank you note. You get a much better opportunity to structure it in a way and get your message read when you do an email thank you note as opposed to that handwritten. Here is another reason why I prefer email versus handwritten thank you notes. It is so much easier to forward them. And do thank you notes get forwarded within a company from this person to that person? Yes, they do. And wouldn't you love the hiring manager or somebody who is on the hiring team to forward your thank you note over to somebody else that was on the hiring team and say, I really appreciate the point they made in this thank you note. I really do think Melanie is the right one for this role. And you have a much better chance of that happening, especially with as diverse of our locations as we have right now with our work. So while the handwritten note is a beautiful thing, and I do love handwritten notes if you don't have that time concern, and if you don't have that formatting structure concern, there is something special about a handwritten note. For you, as a job seeker, after your interview, go with email. All right, everyone. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.